Welcome to the Slam Sessions right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Albert Albanese, and I am going to do something that I haven't done in a little bit, and that's do something extremely topical, because last night on Friday Night SmackDown, it was announced that Nikki and Brie Bella would be the newest inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame. And of course, as it pertains to the internet wrestling community, that went over probably better than a fart in church. So there's a lot of negativity out there about the Bellas being inducted into the Hall of Fame. There are a few arguments that were being made that I thought were completely stupid. Some of them that made a little bit of sense. So I'm kind of going to cover this all right now and just, see what you guys think. So the first complaint that I have been seeing more than anything else is the one that I kind of understand a little bit more than everybody else's, is this is way too soon. And I understand the sentiment. They really technically retired, a year, maybe, if I, 2 is pushing it. So yeah, about a year ago, they officially retired. But this isn't the first time WWE's done something like this anyway. Everybody's like, well, they should wait. There's, it's way too soon. I don't understand why they're doing it now. The WWE is smart, and what they're going to do is they're going to capitalize on everything that they have on their programming, whether it's the WWE's programming or it's USA's programming. Total Divas, Total Bellas. That season starts on April 6th. Right after WrestleMania. So now they can plug all the, their announcement, them finding out, that whole thing might be something that's upcoming on this season. They can promote that now. And they can take clips of this Hall of Fame speech and put it in the show. Also, the girls are both pregnant. They're both in the headlines because they announced that they're pregnant. And, major news outlets, pick that up. And that's a big deal. They're on top. They're pretty much at the height of where they could be celebrity-wise right now. People are paying attention to them. So what do? You strike when the iron's hot. You put them in the Hall of Fame when they're being talked about the most. They're going to give birth soon, probably right around at the same time as each other. Nikki just got engaged. There's a lot of big things going on in the lives of the Bellas right now, and that's why it's probably right now. They're going to strike when the iron's hot. The other part of that also is, I love how people complained about this, but when Edge got announced, oh my God, so deserved. We feel so bad for Edge. Oh man, he had to retire due to injury. So did Nikki. Nobody's putting that into perspective that Nikki had to retire due to injury. So why is it okay that it was okay for Edge, but it's not okay for the Bellas? Or how about if you want to talk about being put in too soon? And I'm not comparing the Bellas with him, but Ric Flair went in before he officially retired. Goldberg went in and then started actively wrestling more than he has in the past 10 years. So the sentiment of it being too soon, I can't agree with that. The WWE is just doing what they do the best and striking when the iron's hot. The other arguments that are being made are, there's so many more deserving women that belong in the Hall of Fame before the Bellas. Oh my God, Jazz isn't in there. And, Molly Holly isn't in there. And Chyna isn't in there. And this one is. Since when have we ever seen the WWE go by who deserves it more when it comes to being put into the Hall of Fame? You're telling me that Coco Beware deserved to be in the Hall of Fame before Rick Rude? Ric Flair? Mr. Perfect? I'm not making fun of Coco Beware here, but his list of accolades and achievements are far less than those people. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Hillbilly Jim. These guys didn't even win a championship in the WWE. Yet they went into the Hall of Fame before guys like the British Bulldog. It's not about who deserves it more. It's about who's right for the year they're going in. We've seen this since the beginning. And when guys officially call it quits and retire, the WWE is very quick to put them into the Hall of Fame, like Kurt Angle. They knew he only had a little bit of time in the ring left, so they put him in the Hall of Fame because he was at the height of his popularity. Guys, it's the wrestling business. It's sports entertainment. At the end of the day, everything the WWE does is a television show. Have we not figured this out yet? It's a TV show. The WWE is writing television. And you write characters in when they're the most relevant. Now, the overwhelming consensus I've seen so far on the internet has been, why? They don't deserve it. Guys, did you watch wrestling while they were active? They were the entire division. And I'm sick of hearing this whole, oh my God, they put him in before AJ Lee? Oh my God, I can't believe they would do that. How do we know that AJ Lee would have even accepted being in the Hall of Fame? Her husband's was in the middle of a lawsuit with the company. What if they reached out? Stop acting like you know everything. You're not in the back. You're not in the middle of pitch meetings. You're not trying to figure out when the next WrestleMania is going to be, the location of that WrestleMania, how it's going to seat everybody, who's going to be there, what are they going to do, and then, oh, the Hall of Fame, well, it's going to be in LA, so let's try to put in some more LA-centric characters because it makes more sense there. So maybe we had a guy who was lined up for Hall of Fame 2020 and has to get moved to 2021 because we decided we're going to do it in LA. There is much more to running a wrestling company than some moron sitting down in front of his laptop going, oh my God, this guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame way more than this other guy. Do you know what it takes to produce, run a show like that, to get the people there? Do you know how many people it takes to make this whole Hall of Fame thing work? You guys are crazy. And don't give me this, the Bellas don't deserve it. They were only there and they slept their way to the top. You know who else everybody said slept their way to the top? Triple H. And you all love the almighty Triple H because he created your favorite wrestling in the whole world besides AEW, NXT, right? Triple H, the king of the world right now. But they were saying the same thing about him a bunch of years ago. The Bellas worked their asses off. Much like somebody else who wasn't a professional wrestler, who came from a fitness model background and became one of the best wrestlers in women's wrestling history, Trish Stratus. She didn't start off a big, WWE superstar. She wasn't a wrestler. She got trained while she was in the company. The Bellas showed commitment. And against all odds, they not only went outside of the WWE and became just as big as stars with Total Divas, Total Bellas. They pulled in a whole new female audience to the WWE. And don't get me started with they don't deserve it, because Nikki's the longest reigning women's Divas champion of all time. She main evented the first ever all women's pay-per-view. They have 3 title reigns between them. They've been in almost every major women's match in recent memory, up until the Women's Revolution, which they spearheaded with the Give Divas a Chance movement. So when you say they're not trailblazers, they're the reason, one of the main reasons why we have women's wrestling like it is today. If you're not going to give them credit because maybe they're not, Dave Meltzer 5-star Tokyo Dome, style wrestlers like everybody has to be now. Everybody needs a character, but no one's allowed to play the character because everybody's got to have the best match ever. At least give them credit for the fact that they were the ones who were fighting with the WWE to give more women a chance and not only have them have 5-minute matches on Raw, 2-minute matches on Raw. There was the one time where I think Brie had a match for 1.5 minutes. Women main evented WrestleManias, pay-per-views, Raws. That's because of the work that the Bellas put in. If you guys are really sitting here spouting off this crap that they don't belong in there, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. The internet wrestling community is getting more toxic and toxic and toxic every time I read something. Anytime the WWE does something, it's completely negative. Anytime the NWA or Impact, well, not really Impact, I guess nobody really talks about Impact, but New Japan, and of course AEW does anything, it's the greatest thing anybody's ever seen. Take off your rose-colored glasses, guys. Start looking at things a little bit more objectively. The Bellas belong in the WWE Hall of Fame. And from me and the Slam Sessions Network, I wish you guys all the best and the biggest congratulations. Don't feed into the toxicity of the internet wrestling community, guys. Stick with me. I'll be your guide and show you the way. This has been Albert Albanese, Rippin the Net, right here on the Slam Sessions.